Good morning, friends. It has been quite a while. I'm so sorry that I have not been here in a long time. And today is going to be one of those days where it feels like we're reading forever. We have a lot of days to catch up on, so I'm very, very sorry that I left you. With the holiday and the kids, it's just been crazy, and I actually am not feeling great, so we'll see how long I can read today because my voice sounds a little bit weird. But we are going to dive in and get some started. You know, I think after doing this for however many days we've been doing it, it really does make me feel better to start my day this way. And if I wake up too late, then I just don't get to it. So it's weird. I wasn't sure that would happen, but I do think that it makes my day better to start it reading with you guys. Oh, there's Jeff. He's coming to say hi. So if you want to read along, we're going to be in Psalms 119. We read like half of it the other day because it is ridiculously long. So we're going to finish Psalms 119, I think. Hold on. And then, yes, okay. We're reading 88 to 176. And I was like, I think 176 is the end, but that's a really, really long chapter. So we're going to read that, and then we're going to head over to Song of Solomon and then some Proverbs. So these are all books we haven't really read very much in, which is kind of cool. So all right, let's get into it, because like I said, my voice is sounding a little bit weird today, so hopefully I'll be able to read because I'm not actually feeling fantastic. Aw, thank you. Good morning. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for saying that. You've been waiting. That was sweet, and I'm sorry that I was missing forever. I'm doing well. I just, like I said, my throat feels a little funny, so I hope I'm not getting sick, especially in this time of COVID. Getting sick is very scary. So, like I said, we are in Psalms 119, and we read up to 88. So we're going to start with Psalms 119, verse 89. Okay? So, forever, O Lord, your word stands firm in heaven. Your faithfulness extends to every generation, as enduring as the earth you created. Your laws remain true today, for everything serves your plans. If your law hadn't sustained me with joy, I would have died in my misery. I will never forget your commandments, for you have used them to restore my joy and health. I am yours. Save me, for I have applied myself to obey your commandments. Though the wicked hide along the way to kill me, I will quietly keep my mind on your decree. Even perfection has its limits, but your commands have no limits. Oh, how I love your law. I think about it all day long. Your commands make me wiser than my enemies, for your commands are my constant guide. Yes, I have more insight than my teachers, for I am always thinking of your decrees. I am even wiser than my elders, for I have kept your commandments. I refuse to walk on any path of evil, that I may remain obedient to your word. I haven't turned away from your laws, for you have taught me well. How sweet are your words to my taste. They are sweeter than honey. Your commandments give me understanding. No wonder I hate every false way of life. Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light for my path. That should sound familiar if you grew up in church. I've promised it once and I'll promise it again. I will obey your wonderful laws. I have suffered much, O Lord. Restore my life again, just as you promised. Lord, accept my grateful thanks and teach me your laws. My life constantly hangs in the balance, but I will not stop obeying your law. The wicked have set their traps for me along your path, but I will not turn from your commandments. Your decrees are my treasure. They are truly my heart's delight. I'm determined to keep your principles, even forever, to the very end. I hate those who are undecided about you. That's interesting. I hate those who are undecided about you. But my choice is clear. I love your law. You are my refuge and my shield. Your word is my only source of hope. Get out of my life, you evil-minded people, for I intend to obey the commands of my God. Sustain me and I'll be saved, and then I will meditate on your principles continually. But you have rejected all who stray from your principles. They are only fooling themselves. All the wicked of the earth are the scum you skim off. No wonder I love to obey your decrees. I tremble in fear of you, and I fear your judgments. Don't leave me to the mercy of my enemies, for I have done what is just and right. Please guarantee a blessing for me, and don't let those who are arrogant oppress me. My eyes strain to see your deliverance, to see the truth of your promise fulfilled. I am your servant. Deal with me in unfailing love and understand your decrees. Lord, it is time for you to act, for these evil people have broken your law. Truly, I love your commands more than gold, even the finest gold. Truly, each of your commands is right, and that is why I hate every false way. Your decrees are wonderful. No wonder I obey them. As your words are taught, they give light. Even the simple can understand them. I open my mouth, panting expectantly, longing for your commands. Come and show me your mercy as you do for all who love your name. Guide my steps by your word so I will not be overcome by evil. Rescue me from the oppression of evil people, and then I can obey your commandments. Look down on me with love and teach me all your principles. Rivers of tears gush from my eyes because people disobey your law. O Lord, you are righteous and your decisions are fair. Your decrees are perfect and they are entirely worthy of our trust. I am overwhelmed with rage, for my enemies have disregarded your words. Your promises have been thoroughly tested, and that is why I love them so much. I am insignificant and despised, but I don't forget your commandments. Your justice is eternal, and your law is perfectly true. As pressure and stress bear down on me, I find joy in your commands. Your decrees are always fair. Help me to understand them, that I may live. I pray with all my heart. Answer me, O Lord, and I will obey your principles. I cry out to you, save me, that I may obey your decrees. I rise early before the sun is up, and I cry out for help and put my hope in your words. I stay awake through the night, thinking about your promise. In your faithful love, O Lord, hear my cry. In your justice, save my life. Those lawless people are coming near to attack me. They live far from your law. But you are near, O Lord, and all your commands are true. I have known from my earliest days that your decrees never change. Look down upon my sorrows and rescue me, for I have not forgotten your law. Argue my case, take my side, protect me as you promised. The wicked are far from salvation, for they do not bother with your principles. Lord, how great is your mercy, and your justice give me back my life. Many persecute and trouble me, yet I have not swerved from your decrees. I hate these traitors because they care nothing for your word. See how I love your commandments, Lord, and give back my life because of your unfailing love. All your words are true, and all your just laws will stand forever. Powerful people harass me without cause, but my heart trembles only at your word. I rejoice in your word like one who finds a great treasure, and I hate and abhor all falsehood, but I love your law. I will praise you 7 times a day because all your laws are just, and those who love your law have great peace and do not stumble. I long for your salvation, Lord, so I have obeyed your commands. I have obeyed your decrees, and I love them very much. Yes, I obey your commandments and decrees because you know everything I do. O Lord, listen to me cry. Give me a discerning mind, you promised. Listen to my prayer and rescue me as you promised. Let my lips burst forth with praise, for you have taught me all your principles. And let my tongue sing about your word, for all your commands are right. Stand ready to help me, for I have chosen to follow your commandments. O Lord, I have longed for your salvation, and your law is my delight. Let me live so I can praise you, and may your laws sustain me. I have wandered away like a lost sheep. Come and find me, for I have not forgotten your commands. So sometimes when I'm trying to explain something to my husband, I'll be like, this is what I want to explain, and I go around and around and around and around and around just to make sure that he understands what I'm talking about, and I wind up talking for like 10 minutes, and he got it in the first sentence. Kind of feel like that was a little bit of Psalm 119. Like, he was saying the same thing over and over again, but I think he really just wanted to make sure that we understood it. And I get that because I do it all the time. I'm like, no, but did you hear me? Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, babe, I heard you the first time. I do it all the time. Okay, so that was day 153. So now we're going to move on to Song of Solomon, which is really exciting because we have not read Song of Solomon yet, and not exciting because I forget where it is. So Psalms, Proverbs, Song of Solomon. I think it's after Proverbs, right? Or am I just making that up? No. After Proverbs is Ecclesiastes. Okay, so imperfect obedience, and I should not be the person doing this. I don't know where Song of Solomon is, so we're going to go back and look it up, and that is super embarrassing. I guess it shouldn't be, but it kind of is. Okay, and this book's concordance is not even helpful. Okay, contents. There we go. Okay. In case you guys didn't know, wait a minute. Did I write that down wrong? Oh my gosh, guys, this is why you should not be following me. Guess what? There is no Song of Solomon. It's Song of Songs. Yeah, I wrote that down wrong. If you're looking for Song of Solomon, you're not going to find it. That's not a book in the Bible. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. But in case you were wondering, Song of Songs, the one we're going to read in, is after Ecclesiastes. So I was kind of close. So Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, then Song of Songs, not Song of Solomon. That's not a Bible book. Okay. That's really terrible. All right, so we are reading a couple pages in Song of Songs. We were just going to get in it. Wait, no. Guys, we're reading all of Song of Songs. Chapters 1 through 8. That's just the whole thing. Well, look at that. We won't have to find it again. Okay. Song of Songs. Here we go. Sorry, I'm going to try to stop laughing at myself. It is Solomon's book, by the way. Okay. This is Solomon's Song of Songs, so I'm not totally crazy. More wonderful than any other. Young woman, kiss me again and again, for your love is sweeter than wine. How fragrant your cologne, and how pleasing your name. No wonder all the young women love you. Take me with you. Come, let's run, and bring me into your bedroom, O my king. Young woman of Jerusalem, how happy we are for him, and we praise his love even more than wine. Young woman, how right that the young women love you. I am dark and beautiful, a woman of Jerusalem, tanned as the dark tents of Kedar, yes, even as the tents of Solomon. Don't look down on me, you fair city girls, just because my complexion is so dark. The sun has burned my skin. My brothers were angry with me and sent me out to tend the vineyards in the hot sun. Now see what it has done to me. Tell me, O my love, where are you leading your flock today? Where will you rest your sheep at noon? For why should I wander like a prostitute among the flocks of your companions? Young man, if you don't know, O most beautiful woman, follow the trail of my flock to the shepherd's tent, and there feed your young goats. What a lovely filly you are, my beloved one. How lovely are your cheeks, with your earrings setting them afire. How stately is your neck, accented with a long string of jewels. We will make earrings of gold for you and beads of silver. Young woman, the king is lying on his couch, enchanted by the fragrance of my perfume. My lover is a sachet of myrrh lying between my breasts, and he is like a bouquet of flowers in the gardens of En-gedi. Young man, how beautiful you are, my beloved, how beautiful. Your eyes are soft like doves. Young woman, what a lovely, pleasant sight you are, my love, as we lie here on the grass, shaded by the cedar trees and spreading firs. Young woman, I am the rose of Sharon, the lily of the valley. Young man, yes, compared to other women, my beloved is like a lily among thorns. Woman, as compared to other youths, my lover is like the finest apple tree in the orchard. I am seated in his delightful shade, and his fruit is delicious to eat. This feels really dirty to be reading on TikTok. His fruit is delicious to eat. He brings me to the banquet hall so everyone can see how much he loves me. Oh, feed me with your love, your raisins and your apples, for I am utterly lovesick. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. Promise me, O women of Jerusalem, by the swift gazelles and the deer of the wild, not to awaken love until the time is right. Ah, I hear him, my lover. Here he comes, leaping on the mountains and bounding over the hills. My lover is like a swift gazelle or a young deer. Look, there he is behind the wall. Now he's looking in through the window, gazing into the room. My lover said to me, Rise up, my beloved, my fair one, and come away. For the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone. The flowers are springing up, and the time of the singing birds has come. Even the cooing of the turtle doves. The fig trees are budding, and the grapevines are in blossom. How delicious they smell. Yes, spring is here. Arise, my beloved, my fair one, and come away. Man, my dove is hiding behind some rocks, behind an outcrop on the cliff. Let me see you, let me hear your voice, for your voice is pleasant, and you are lovely. The women of Jerusalem, quick, catch all the little foxes before they ruin the vineyard of your love, for all the grapevines are in blossom. Woman, my lover is mine, and I am his. He feeds among the lilies. Before the dawn comes and the shadows flee away, come back to me, my love. Run like a gazelle or a young stag on the rugged mountains. Woman, one night as I lay in bed, I yearned deeply for my lover, but he did not come. So I said to myself, I will get up now and roam the city, searching for him in all its streets and squares. But my search was in vain. The watchmen stopped me as they made their rounds, and I said to them, Have you seen him anywhere, this one I love so much? A little while later I found him and held him. I didn't let him go until I'd brought him into my childhood home, into my mother's bedroom where I had been conceived. Promise me, O women of Jerusalem, by the swift gazelles and the deer of the wild, not to awaken love until the time is right. Young women of Jerusalem, who is this sweeping in from the deserts like a cloud of smoke along the ground? Who is it that smells of myrrh and frankincense and every other spice? Look, it's Solomon's carriage, with 60 of Israel's mighty men surrounding it. They're all skilled swordsmen and experienced warriors. Each one wears a sword on his thigh, ready to defend the king against an attack in the night. King Solomon has built a carriage for himself from wood imported from Lebanon's forests. Its posts are silver, its canopy is gold, and its seat is upholstered in purple cloth. Its interior was a gift of love from the young women of Jerusalem. Young women, go out and look upon King Solomon, O young women of Jerusalem. See the crown with which his mother crowned him on his wedding day, the day of his gladness. Young man, how beautiful you are, my beloved, how beautiful. Your eyes behind your veil are like doves. Your hair falls in waves like a flock of goats frisking down the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are as white as sheep, newly shorn and washed. They are perfectly matched and not one is missing. Well, there you go. Your lips are a ribbon of scarlet. Oh, how beautiful your mouth. Your cheeks behind your veil are like pomegranate halves, lovely and delicious. Your neck is as stately as the Tower of David, jeweled with the shields of 1,000 heroes. Your breasts are like the twin fawns of a gazelle feeding among the lilies. Before the dawn comes and the shadows flee away, I will go to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. You are so beautiful, my beloved, so perfect in every part. Come with me from Lebanon, my bride. Come down from the top of Mount Amana, from Mount Senir and Mount Hermon, where lions have their dens and panthers prowl. You've ravished my heart, my treasure, my bride. I am overcome by one glance of your eyes, by a single bead of your necklace. How sweet is your love, my treasure, my bride. How much better is it than wine? Your perfume is more fragrant than the richest of spices. Your lips, my bride, are as sweet as honey. Yes, honey and cream are under your tongue, and the scent of your clothing is like that of the mountains and cedars of Lebanon. You are like a private garden, my treasure, my bride. You are like a spring that no one else can drink from, a fountain of my own. You are like a lovely orchard bearing precious fruit with the rarest of perfumes, nard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, myrrh and aloe, perfumes of every incense tree and every other lovely spice. You are a garden fountain, a well of living water, as refreshing as the streams from the Lebanon mountains. Young woman, awake, north wind, come south wind, blow on my garden and waft its lovely perfume to my lover. Let him come into its garden and eat its choicest fruits. I don't think she's talking about fruit. I'm just saying. Young man, I am here in my garden, my treasure, my bride. I gather my myrrh and my spices and eat my honeycomb with my honey. I drink my wine with my milk. Woman of Jerusalem, O lover and beloved, eat and drink. Yes, drink deeply of this love. Young woman, one night as I was sleeping, my heart awakened in a dream. I heard the voice of my lover, and he was knocking at my bedroom door. Open to me, my darling, my treasure, my lovely dove, he said, for I have been out in the night. My head is soaked with dew, my hair for the wetness of the night. But I said, I have taken off my robe. Should I get dressed again? I have washed my feet. Should I get them soiled? My lover tried to unlatch the door, and my heart thrilled within me. I jumped to open it. My hands dripped with perfume, my fingers with lovely myrrh as I pulled back the bolt. I opened to my lover, but he was gone. I yearned for even his voice. I searched for him, but couldn't find him anywhere. I called to him, but there was no reply. My watchmen found me as they were making their rounds, and they struck and wounded me. The watchman on the wall tore my veil. Make this promise to me, O woman of Jerusalem. If you find my beloved one, tell him I'm sick with love. Woman of Jerusalem, O woman of rare beauty, what is it about your loved one that brings you to tell us this? Young woman, my lover is dark and dazzling, better than 10,000 others. His head is the finest gold, and his hair is wavy and black. His eyes are like doves beside brooks of water, and they're set like jewels. His cheeks are like sweetly scented beds of spices, and his lips are like perfumed lilies. His breath is like myrrh, and his arms are like round bars of gold set with chrysolite. His body is bright ivory, aglow with sapphires. His legs are pillars of marble set in sockets of the finest gold, strong as the cedars of Lebanon. None can rival him. His mouth is altogether sweet, and he is lovely in every way. Such a woman of Jerusalem is my lover, my friend. Young woman of Jerusalem, O rarest of beautiful women, where has your lover gone? We will help you find him. Young woman, he's gone down to the garden to his spice beds to gaze and gather the lilies. I am my lover's, and my lover is mine. He gazes among the lilies. Young man, O my beloved, you are as beautiful as the lovely town of Tirzah. You are as beautiful as Jerusalem. You are as majestic as an army with banners. Look away, for your eyes overcome me. Your hair falls in waves like a flock of goats frisking down the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are as white as newly washed sheep. They are perfectly matched, and again, not one is missing. Your cheeks behind your veil are like pomegranate halves, lovely and delicious. There may be 60 wives, all queens, and 80 concubines, and unnumbered virgins available to me. But I would still choose my dove, my perfect one, the only beloved daughter of her mother. Good to know. The young women are delighted when they see her. Even queens and concubines sing her praises. Who is this, they ask, arising like the dawn, as fair as the moon, as bright as the sun, as majestic as an army with banners? I went down to the grove of nut trees and out to the valley to see the new growth brought on by spring. I wanted to see whether the grapevines were budding yet and whether the pomegranates were blossoming. Before I realized it, I found myself in my princely bed with my beloved one. Young women of Jerusalem, return, return to us, O maid of Shulam. Come back, that we may see you once again. Young man, why do you gaze so intently at this young woman of Shulam as she moves so gracefully between two lines of dancers? Young man, how beautiful are your sandaled feet, O queenly maiden. Your rounded thighs are like jewels, the work of a skilled craftsman. Your navel is as delicious as a goblet filled with wine. Your belly is lovely like a heap of wheat set about with lilies. Your breasts are like twin fawns of a gazelle, and your neck is as stately as an ivory tower. Your eyes are like the sparkling pools in Heshbon by the gate of Bath Rabbim. Your nose is as fine as the Tower of Lebanon overlooking Damascus. Your head is as majestic as Mount Carmel, and the sheen of your hair radiates royalty. A king is held captive in your queenly tresses. Oh, how delightful you are, my beloved, how pleasant for utter delight. You are tall and slim like a palm tree, and your breasts are like its clusters of dates. I said, I will climb up that palm tree and take hold of its branches. Now may your breasts be like grape clusters, and the scent of your breath like apples. May your kisses be as exciting as the best wine, smooth and sweet, flowing gently over lips and teeth. Young woman, I am my lover's, the one he desires. Come, my love, let us go out into the fields and spend the night among the wildflowers. Let us get up early and go out to the vineyards. Let us see whether the vines have budded, whether the blossoms have opened, and whether the pomegranates are in flower. And there I will give you, my love. There are mandrakes that give forth their fragrance, and the rarest fruits are at our doors. The new as well as old, for I have stored them up for you, my lover. Young woman, if only you were my brother. Oh, if only you were my brother, who nursed at my mother's breasts. Then I could kiss you no matter who was watching, and no one would criticize me. Okay, this just got super weird, and I would criticize you. What the heck are you talking about? I would bring you my childhood home, and there you would teach me. I would give you spiced wine to drink, my sweet pomegranate wine. Your left hand would be under my head, and your right would embrace me. I want you to promise, O woman of Jerusalem, not to awaken love until the time is right. Woman of Jerusalem, who is this coming up from the desert leaning on her lover? Young woman, I aroused you under the apple tree where your mother gave you birth, where in great pain she delivered you. Place me like a seal over your heart, or like a seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death, and its jealousy is as enduring as the grave. Love flashes like fire, the brightest kind of flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can rivers drown it. If a man tried to buy love with everything he owned, his offer would be utterly despised. The young woman's brothers. We have a little sister too young for breasts. What will we do if someone asks to marry her? If she is chaste, we will strengthen and encourage her. But if she is promiscuous, we will shut her off from men. Young woman, I am chaste, and I am now full-breasted, and my lover is content with me. Solomon has a vineyard at Baal-Hamon, which he rents to some farmers there. Each of them pays 1,000 pieces of silver for its use. But as for my own vineyard, Solomon, you can take my 1,000 pieces of silver. I will give you 200 pieces of silver for those who care for its vines. Young man, O my beloved, lingering in the gardens, how wonderful that your companions can listen to your voice. Let me hear it too. Young woman, come quickly, my love. Move like a swift gazelle or a young deer on the mountains of spices. Okay, so that was all of Song of Songs, not Song of Solomon, Song of Songs. And I know that book is all about sex, but I've never done a study on it, so I'm a little bit confused. Like, I know that the twin fawns are your breasts and that your neck is great, and it's good that she has teeth, but I think it'd be interesting to do a study on it, because I don't actually know, like, what they actually mean by those things. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so next we are reading Proverbs. Psalms. Proverbs is after Psalms. I know where that book is. And we're going to read a couple chapters in Proverbs today, and then we're going to be done because my throat is killing me. I do not feel good reading right now. I'm so sorry, guys, but we're going to read a couple of these chapters, and then we're going to be done for the day because I need to stop talking. So let's go. I turned to 6, so let's read through chapter 6. How about that? Okay. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, David's son, the king of Israel. The purpose of these Proverbs is to teach people wisdom and discipline and help them to understand wise sayings. Through these Proverbs, people will receive instruction and discipline, good conduct, and doing what is right, just, and fair. These Proverbs will make a simple-minded clever. They will give knowledge and purpose to young people. Let those who are wise listen to these Proverbs and become even wiser. And let those who understand receive guidance by exploring the depth of meaning in these Proverbs, parables, wise sayings, and riddles. Fear of the Lord is only the beginning of knowledge, and only fools despise wisdom and discipline. Listen, my child, to what your father teaches you, and don't neglect your mother's teaching. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and clothe you with honor. My child, if sinners entice you, turn your back on them. They may say, come and join us. Let's hide and kill someone. Let's ambush the innocent. Let's swallow them alive as the grave swallows its victims. Though they're in the prime of life, they'll go down into the pit of death. And the loot we'll get will fill our houses with all kinds of things. Come and throw your lot in with us, and we'll split our loot with you. If anyone says that to you, here's the wisdom. Don't go with them, my child. Stay far from their paths. They rush to commit crimes and hurry to commit murder. When a bird sees a trap being set, it stays away, but not these people. They set an ambush for themselves, and they booby-trap their own lives. Such is the fate of all who are greedy for gain. It ends up robbing them of life. Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in the public square. She calls out to the crowds along the main street and to those in front of City Hall. You simpletons, she cries, how long will you go on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools fight the facts? Come here and listen to me, and I'll pour out the spirit of wisdom upon you and make you wise. I called you so often, but you didn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered, so I will laugh when you're in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you, when calamity overcomes you like a storm, when you are engulfed by trouble, and when anguish and distress overwhelm you. I will not answer when they cry for help. Even though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. For they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. This is why they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way. Oh, that's bad. They must experience the full terror of the path they have chosen, for they are simpletons who turn away from me to death. They are fools, and their own complacency will destroy them. But all who listen to me will live in peace and safety, unafraid of harm. My child, listen to me and treasure my instructions. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight and understanding and search for them as you would lost money or hidden treasure. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God, for the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of good sense to the godly. He is their shield, protecting those who walk with integrity. He guards the paths of justice and protects those who are faithful to him. Then you will understand what is right, just, and fair, and you will know how to find the right course of action every time. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise planning will watch over you, and understanding will keep you safe. Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose speech is corrupt. These people turn from right ways and walk down dark and evil paths. They rejoice in doing wrong, and they enjoy evil as it turns things upside down. What they do is crooked, and their ways are wrong. Wisdom will save you from the immortal woman, from the flattery of adulterous women. She's abandoned her husband and ignores the covenant she made before God. Entering her house leads to death. It's the road to hell. The man who visits her is doomed, and he will never reach the paths of life. Follow the steps of good men instead. Stay on the path of righteousness. For only the upright will live in the land, and those who have integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be removed from the land, and the treacherous will be destroyed. My child, never forget the things I've taught you. Store my commands in your heart, for they will give you a long and satisfying life. Never let loyalty and kindness get away from you. Wear them like a necklace. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will gain a good reputation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will direct your paths. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn your back on evil. Then you will gain renewed health and vitality. Honor the Lord with your wealth and the best part of everything your land produces. Then you will fill your barns with grain, and your vats will overflow with the finest wine. My child, don't ignore it when the Lord disciplines you, and don't be discouraged when he corrects you, for the Lord corrects those he loves, just as a father corrects a child in whom he delights. Happy is the person who finds wisdom and gains understanding, for the profit of wisdom is better than silver, and her wages are better than gold. Wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. She offers you life in her right hand, and riches and honor in her left. She will guide you down delightful paths, and all her ways are satisfying. Wisdom is a tree of life to those who embrace her, and happy are those who hold her tightly. By wisdom the Lord founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deep fountains of the earth burst forth, and the clouds pour down rain. My child, don't lose sight of good planning and insight. Hang on to them, for they fill you with life and bring you honor and respect. You can lie down without fear and enjoy pleasant dreams. You need not be afraid of disaster or the destruction that comes upon the wicked, for the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it's in your power to help them. If you can help your neighbor now, don't say, "Come back tomorrow and then I'll help you." Do not plot against your neighbors, for they trust you, and don't make accusations against someone who hasn't wronged you. Don't envy violent people and don't copy their ways. Such wicked people are an abomination to the Lord, but he offers his friendship to the godly. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but his blessing is on the home of the upright. The Lord mocks at mockers, but shows favor to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools are put to shame. My children, listen to me. Listen to your father's instructions, and pay attention and grow wise, for I am giving you good guidance. Don't turn away from my teaching, for I too was once my father's son, tenderly loved by my mother as an only child. My father told me, "Take my words to heart, follow my instructions, and you will live. Learn to be wise and develop good judgment. Don't forget or turn away from my words. Don't turn your back on wisdom, for she will protect you. Love her and she will guard you. Getting wisdom is the most important thing you can do, and whatever else you do, get good judgment. If you prize wisdom, she'll exalt you. Embrace her and she will honor you. She'll place a lovely wreath on your head and will present you with a beautiful crown. My child, listen to me and do as I say, and you will have a long, good life. I will teach you wisdom's ways and lead you on straight paths. If you live a life guided by wisdom, you won't limp or stumble as you run. Carry out my instructions and don't forsake them. Guard them, for they will lead you to a fulfilled life. Do not do as the wicked do or follow the path of evildoers. Avoid their haunts and turn away and go somewhere else. For evil people cannot sleep until they've done their evil deed for the day. They cannot rest until they've caused someone to stumble. They eat wickedness and drink violence. The ways of the righteous is like the first gleam of dawn, which shines ever brighter until the full light of day. But the way of the wicked is like complete darkness. Those who follow it have no idea what they're stumbling over. Pay attention, my child, to what I say and listen carefully. Do not lose sight of my words. Let them penetrate deep within your heart, for they bring life and radiant health to anyone who discovers their meaning. Above all else, guard your heart, for it affects everything you do. Avoid all perverse talk and stay far from corrupt speech. I think that's where the Bible says don't swear. Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet and then stick to the path and stay safe. Don't get sidetracked. Keep your feet from following evil. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my wise counsel. Then you will learn to be discreet and will store up knowledge. The lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But the result is as bitter as poison and sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave, for she does not care about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't even realize where it leads. So now, my sons, listen to me. Never stray from what I'm about to say and run from her. Don't go near the door of her house, and if you do, you'll lose your honor and hand over to merciless people everything you have achieved in life. Strangers will obtain your wealth, and someone else will enjoy the fruit of your labor. Afterwards you'll groan in anguish when disease consumes your body, and you will say, "How I hated discipline! If only I had not demanded my own way. Oh, why didn't I listen to my teachers? Why didn't I pay attention to those who gave me instruction? I've come to the brink of utter ruin, and now I must face public disgrace." Drink water from your own well. Share your love only with your wife. Why spill the water of your springs in public, having sex with just anyone? You should reserve it for yourselves, and don't share it with strangers. Solid advice. Let your wife be a fountain of blessing for you. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. She's a loving doe, a graceful deer. Let her breast satisfy you always. May you always be captivated by her love. Why be captivated, my son, with an immoral woman, or embrace the breasts of an adulterous woman? For the Lord sees clearly what a man does, examining every path he takes. An evil man is held captive by his own sins. They are the ropes that catch and hold him. He will die for lack of self-control and be lost because of his incredible folly. My child, if you co-sign a loan for a friend or guarantee the debt of someone you hardly know, if you've trapped yourself by your agreement and are caught by what you said, quick, get out of it as you possibly can. You've placed yourself at your friend's mercy. Now swallow your pride, go and beg to have your name erased. Don't put it off, do it now, and don't rest until you do. Save yourself like a deer escaping from a hunter, like a bird fleeing from a net. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and be wise. Even though they have no prince, governor, or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. But you, lazy bones, how long will you sleep? I should not have read that so passionately. I love to sleep. When will you wake up? I want you to learn this lesson. A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. Here is a description of worthless and wicked people. They are constant liars, signaling their true intentions to their friends by making signs with their eyes and feet and fingers. Their perverted hearts plot evil, and they stir up trouble constantly, but they will be destroyed suddenly, broken beyond all hope of healing. There are 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7 things he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who sows discord among brothers. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's teachings. Keep their words always in your heart and tie them around your neck. Wherever you walk, their counsel can lead you. When you sleep, they'll protect you. When you wake up in the morning, they will advise you. For these commands and this teaching are a lamp to light the way ahead of you. The correction of discipline is this way of life. The commands of this teaching will keep you from the immoral woman, from the smooth tongue of an adulterous woman. Don't lust for her beauty, and don't let her coyness seduce you. For a prostitute will bring you to poverty, and sleeping with another man's wife may cost you your very life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap and not be burned? Can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? So it is with the man who sleeps with another man's wife. He who embraces her will not go unpunished. Excuses might be found for a thief who steals because he is starving. But if he is caught, he'll be fined 7 times as much as he stole, even if it means selling everything in his house to pay it back. But the man who commits adultery is an utter fool, for he destroys his own soul. Wounds and constant disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be erased. For this woman's husband will be furious in his jealousy and will have no mercy in his day of vengeance. There is no compensation or bribe that will satisfy him. All right, well, we're going to read one more because it's about the immoral woman, so we can just get on with the immoral woman. Follow my advice, son. Always treasure my commands. Obey them and live. Guard my teachings as your most precious possession, and tie them on your finger as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Love wisdom like a sister. Make insight a beloved member of your family. Let them hold you back from an affair with an immoral woman, from listening to the flattery of an adulterous woman. I was looking out the window of my house one day and saw a simple-minded young man who lacked common sense. He was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman and was strolling down the path by her house at twilight as the day was fading and the dark of night set in. The woman approached him, dressed seductively and sly of heart. She was the brash, rebellious type who never stays at home. She's often seen in the streets and markets, soliciting at every corner. She threw her arms around him and kissed him. With a brazen look, she said, "I've offered my sacrifices and just finished my vows. It's you I was looking for. I came out to find you, and here you are. My bed is spread," sounds like Dr. Seuss. "My bed is spread with colored sheets of the finest linen imported from Egypt. I've perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloe, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink our fill of love until morning. Let's enjoy each other's caresses, for my husband is not home. He's away on a long trip. He's taken a wallet full of money with him, and he won't return until later this month." So she seduced him with her pretty speech. With her flattery, she enticed him, and he followed her at once, like an ox going to slaughter, or a trapped stag awaiting the arrow that would pierce its heart. He was like a bird flying into a snare, little knowing that it would cost him his life. "Listen to me, my sons, and pay attention to my words. Don't let your hearts stray towards her. Don't wander down her wayward path, for she's been the ruin of many. Numerous men have been her victims. Her house is the road to the grave, and her bedroom is the den of death." Not the way that you want the Bible to describe you, I would say. So, I'm so sorry, guys. We're actually going to stop there. We're not quite caught up, but my throat is killing me. I do not feel very good today, so I'm going to be done reading for now. But I did want to say while I was reading that one of the things we say in our house all the time to the kids, I have 4 kids, and when we're talking to them about things, we say, run from danger. Run, don't see how close you can get, turn around and run the opposite direction. If you saw a grenade on the ground, you would not go closer to it, right? You would turn and run because you don't want to get blown up. So as I was reading this Proverbs, that's what I kept thinking of. So if that helps you in your life or with your kids, it's something that we say to ours all the time. So it's just something that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. Thank you so much. Good morning from Missouri. Thank you for being here with me. Like I said, it's always easier to read when you have other people with you. Thanks for joining me. And these Proverbs are good. I need to actually go back and highlight a couple because it's way more fun to read those than First Chronicles. So thank you for being here. Let me know if you have any thoughts or feelings. Thanks for hanging out, and I should be back tomorrow because we need to get caught up. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Bye.